Welcome to the Genetics 3 lecture. Hopefully you've had a chance to look at Mr. Del Rossi's monohybrid cross video and to practice some complete dominant monohybrid crosses. Today, we're going to take a look at some monohybrid crosses where we don't have dominant and recessive traits. So in other words, we don't have one trait that's going to completely cover over a second trait. What we do have are a thing called incomplete dominance and codominance. And they're going to go into a chart very, very similar to the one that you use for monohybrid crosses. It's just going to be the way that we write the alleles. It's going to be a little bit different. We're going to start with incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance. Imagine that you're in art class and you see green paint. You know that the parents of that paint are going to be some kind of blue and some kind of yellow. With the reverse, if you see red paint and white paint, you know that the result of mixing those is going to be pink. When we have incomplete dominance, we have two parents, each giving their alleles, but we have the possibility of 3 phenotypes rather than 2. The way that we write the alleles is a little bit different. We basically pick an allele letter. So since we're going to be talking about color, we'll pick C. But we don't stop there. We then assign a secondary letter, always capital, that describes the trait. So for example, if I'm going to be a red parent, I'm going to have the alleles, and then in superscript, I'm going to have information that tells me about my color. If I am CR, I'm going to be red. If I am CW, I'm going to be white. But if I have one of each trait, in other words, if I'm heterozygous, I'm going to be CW, again, all capital letters, and I'm going to be pink. Remember, art class, red plus white equals pink. Red is not dominant, white is not dominant. They are incompletely dominant, thus they produce a pink offspring. Here's a Punnett square that shows that at work. Notice it's almost exactly the same as complete dominance, except this time we have that C allele with a superscript, another C allele with a different superscript. So if we have 2 pink snapdragons, we know that they're going to be CR-CW. We're going to mate 2 identical pink snapdragons, and this is going to be the outcome. Our phenotypes are going to be 25% red, 50% pink, 25% white, or a 1:2:1 ratio. Here are some examples of incomplete dominance. This would be CR-CR, CW-CW, CR-CW. Homozygous, homozygous, heterozygous. Notice no recessive or dominant. Over here we have our mice. Homozygous white, homozygous black, heterozygous gray. Codominance. Codominance is what it sounds like. You have 2 traits and neither of them is willing to give up to the other one. We're going to write it very similarly to incomplete dominance. Again, 3 phenotypes instead of 2. No dominant, no recessive, no little letters. Since we're sticking with color, we're going to go with the allele C again. If I am a blue bluebird, I am CB, CBLE. If I am a gray bird, I am CW, CW. If I'm a heterozygous blue-gray bird, I'm going to be CB, CW. In other words, some of my feathers are blue, some of my feathers are gray. Notice how this bird is not a bluey gray, so the blue and the gray didn't mix together. The bird got both the blue and the gray traits shown. So let's do an example with bunnies. Let's pretend that we have 2 class pets. One is black and white, and one is completely white. If you think for a moment, hopefully you'll be able to figure out what their alleles would be. Genotype 1, genotype 2. Now, because the Punnett square is big, I'm going to flip to the next screen and we're going to take a look at that. Parent 1, FB, FW, fur black, fur white. Other parent, FW, FW. In other words, the fur is white. Here are our potential children. So if the bunnies had offspring, and let's pretend that they're just going to have one baby bunny, that baby bunny has these possibilities. no chance to be black, 50% to be spotted black and white, 50% to be white. Genotype of baby bunny, no chance to be FB, FB, 50% chance to be FB, FW, 50% chance to be FW, FW. Think about this like two kings battling backwards and forwards. Neither is willing to give up territory, so it ends up with a little bit of both. Here are some examples of what a plant would look like if it was incompletely dominant. Red parent, white parent makes pink. Red parent plus white parent makes striped. Black parent plus white parent makes gray. Black parent plus white parent makes spotted. Now, if you notice, we haven't talked about some of the traits that you're probably most interested in. That's because these are called polygenic traits, and they're coded for by more than one allele given by each parent. These are going to be things like skin color, eye color, weight, and we're going to talk about those next week.